Nomás de pensar que esto nació de un meteorito.
It's stated to be this room here when the Spanish Armadas.
Look at this. This is no camera tricks. It looks like a dark rainbow. Goes into one of those.
Dude, it just broke into two now.
From the clip of a disturbing pale figure lurking deep in the woods, to footage of a man claiming he's keeping a living alien as a pet, and even video of a colossal worm-like creature twisting through an Arctic lake, these are some of the most unsettling moments ever captured on camera. Stick around, because you won't want to miss a single one. Hiking always feels like a thrilling escape into nature. That is, until something hidden in the forest reveals itself. This video, originally uploaded to YouTube Shorts on September 19th, has been sending shockwaves through the community. It was recorded by a hiker on what seemed like just another routine adventure, until he spotted a strange, black figure moving uphill through the woods. At first glance, it looks like a person struggling against the steep slope, but when you look closer, you can see what appears to be a dark, fur-covered body with a bulky, almost unnatural frame. The comment section is already blowing up, with many swearing this is evidence of Bigfoot, especially given how smoothly the figure navigates the hill. Personally, though, I lean toward a more logical explanation. The stride, the posture, and the wide steps look more like a person in a costume than an undiscovered creature. I've watched a lot of supposed Bigfoot videos, and I've never seen one move quite like this. Of course, that's just my opinion, but if this isn't what I think it is, then we might have to seriously consider the possibility that something unknown is actually roaming our woods. In May 2025, a Reddit user by the name of Begalit Music uploaded a post to the r/paranormal subreddit, a place well known for chillin' and unexplained sightings. What he shared looked like an ordinary delivery photo at first glance, but reading the description made my heart go cold. According to him, his driver had sent this image as a routine proof of delivery picture. Everything seemed perfectly normal, except for the dark, humanoid figure staring from the window of his door. Begalit Music describes himself as a logical thinker, but even he couldn't explain what he was seeing. He said he'd checked that doorway multiple times before and never noticed anything that could account for such an eerie shape. The building he lives in already carries an odd vibe, an old place he's stayed in since before the pandemic, but nothing like this had ever happened before. He posted the image online, not as a believer, but as someone genuinely unsettled, hoping others could shed light on the mysterious figure before he started questioning his own sanity. Unsurprisingly, the post exploded with attention, believers and skeptics alike flooding the comments, all demanding more context. In response, he recorded a follow-up video during the daytime after work, showing the exact same doorway. In it, there's no strange light, no reflection, no obvious explanation for the shape he captured before.
For being inside, there's this, which is a backpack, and when you close this door, you can't really see that. Even if there was like a light thing right here, kind of blocks if there was something.
If his story is genuine, it's hard to debunk. One possibility is that the delivery driver's camera flash or lighting caused an odd reflection, making it look like a pair of eyes or a silhouette. But even then, The curtain in the picture appears slightly shifted, almost as if someone or something was peeking through. And in the zoomed image, it looks far more than just a flash. It looks like something better left unseen. This homeowner installed security cameras in his house for peace of mind. But what those cameras captured one night ended up terrifying his entire family to the core. The video, uploaded to TikTok on April 19th, shows something truly chilling. In the middle of the night, a ghostly figure can be seen moving from the kitchen island toward the homeowner's son's room before vanishing into thin air. In the footage, even the family pet appears alarmed, staring intently at the figure, its body tense and alert. Whatever it wasn't just a trick of the light. Some might dismiss it as a camera glitch. But the very next night, at almost the exact same time, the figure appeared again, moving in the same direction from the kitchen toward the boys' room. This time, though, the pets didn't react. It's as if whatever it was had become more careful, slipping past unnoticed. Normally, I'd write something like this off as a simple glitch, maybe dust, maybe a bug close to the lens. But when you see it happen twice, especially with animals reacting to it the first time, it's hard to explain away. Videos like this really make you wonder if there's more to this world than we understand. Maybe someday we'll find out. This guy thought he was just filming a peaceful Arctic lake, but what unfolded in front of him defied every explanation he had.
Space for you guys up front.
Dude, it just broke into two now.
The video, titled Norwegian Worm Monster, was uploaded on August 12th, 2012, by a user named Charles Taylor. In the footage, Charles stands atop a 1,200-meter peak overlooking a desolate tundra and a remote, mirror-still lake, about 700 meters high, near the Norway-Sweden border. No roads, no cabins, no human presence for miles, just untouched wilderness, until something strange caught his eye.
Take a video of it, we can show the instructors.
As his camera pans across the lake, Charles captures a bizarre, shimmering shape streaking through the water. It moves in a perfect line, then suddenly veers off, making sharp, right-angle turns and S-shaped curves before vanishing completely, only to reappear seconds later. At times, the shape even seems to split in two, spreading thin like light reflected on water, then merging again and fading from sight.
Into two now.
Maybe it's
Now it's gone. Pretty sure ice doesn't move that quickly. That's my explanation. Oh, maybe not. No, don't. Watch out. Dude, it just broke into two now.
Maybe it's two
Now it's
mating
gone.
snakes.
Charles initially thought it might be ice, maybe a boat, or even an animal swimming beneath the surface. But there's no sound, no wake, no ripples, and no logical way a motorboat or any human could access that isolated lake. Whatever it was, it moved with precision and speed, leaving behind a faint white trail that defied all common explanations. The footage sparked countless theories. Some claimed it was an alien probe. Others compared it to the Loch Ness Monster, just living in far colder waters. Over a decade later, Charles's eerie Arctic recording continues to resurface online, reigniting debates about what exactly he saw that day. If you thought you'd already seen the limits of strange, this next video from a homeowner's porch might just change your mind. This footage was captured by a home security camera back in 2019, but didn't surface online until 2 years later. At first, everything looks perfectly normal. A quiet, cozy porch around 9 p.m. Then, out of nowhere, a ghostly figure seems to materialize from thin air and start swinging on the porch swing. The seat moves gently back and forth, as if someone unseen is sitting on it. Yet all you can make out is a faint, smoke-like shape hovering there. The uploader later revealed that, according to the homeowner, the figure could be the spirit of his late father, who used to spend his evenings sitting on that same porch swing. Now, if you ask me, it could be a camera glitch, or maybe even a bit of clever editing. When the footage zooms in, you can actually spot a faint circular border around the figure, which might suggest it was digitally added. But then again, what about the swing? Why is it moving so naturally, as if something really is sitting there? A night security guard at La Pastora Park in Mexico was making his usual rounds when he heard the sound of a swing creaking somewhere in the distance. It was the middle of the night, no visitors, no staff, so naturally, he went to investigate. That decision would turn out to be one of the most terrifying mistakes of his life. Following the noise, the guard found a swing moving back and forth on its own, creaking in the empty darkness. But the real horror began moments later when he spotted a shadowy figure drifting through the park, completely alone. When the figure began walking toward him, the guard didn't wait to find out what it was. Instinct kicked in. He turned and ran, ending the live stream abruptly. What makes this even more unsettling is that he was apparently live streaming the entire encounter, and his audience witnessed everything in real time. That detail makes it far harder to dismiss as a simple edit or hoax. Dark, desolate places like this park at night are the perfect breeding grounds for the unknown, and this video might be terrifying proof of that. Ever since the 2019 pandemic, things have felt off. The weird stuff seems to be showing up more often, and it's like it doesn't even care about being seen anymore. That's exactly what happened to this driver after a long shift. Except what his dash cam caught left him seriously freaked out.
There's no one here. No one in this corner.
From the front dash cam, it looks like there's nobody on the road, but when the guy switches to the side camera, you see a big figure with one arm missing appear out of nowhere. It's the kind of thing that makes you do a double take, like some glitch in the Matrix. Of course, skeptics pointed out that the side angle isn't wide, so it's possible someone walked up to the truck while it was stopped. The building blocks the view from the left, so you can't see who or what might have come from that direction. That's a fair point, but still, the way this thing just suddenly gets that close, plus the missing arm, it's oddly unsettling. What do you think? A trick of the camera, a person in bad lighting, or something else entirely? This next video was uploaded on TikTok by a homeowner living in a 160-year-old house, which sits directly across from a forensic center where autopsies are performed. One night, after finishing dinner and cleaning up the kitchen, the homeowner headed upstairs for bed. But as they turned the corner into the hallway, something on the front door's window stopped them cold. A dark, human-shaped shadow standing perfectly still on the porch. Thinking someone was actually outside at 10 p.m., they rushed toward the door, frustrated and ready to confront whoever it was. But the moment they opened it, their tone changed from anger to disbelief. The porch was empty. In the video, you can even hear the shock in their voice as they start to say, "There's literally," before cutting off, realizing no one was there.
There's literally...
The strange part for me is that the shadow was too sharp, too defined, and lingered too long to be a trick of light. There was no one outside, no passing cars, and no nearby movement that could have caused it. According to the owner, the home's front door is recessed deep enough that a shadow like that would only appear if someone stood directly in front of it. I mean, if what the owner is saying is true, then this looks pretty terrifying. This unknown visitor definitely wants something from her. But the terrifying thing is, what? I guess we'll know when it reveals itself. This YouTuber thought he was just visiting a historic landmark, but what he found inside was far darker than any history book could describe. The video comes from paranormal investigator Tracy, who filmed inside a centuries-old home in St. Augustine, Florida, a house many call the most haunted in the United States. Tracy sets up a surveillance camera in one of the rooms with the worst reputation, hoping to catch what locals whisper about. But as the footage rolls, the camera captures something chilling, a dark, smoke-like figure moving through the room, shaped almost like a human.
It is stated to be this room here when the Spanish Armadas
Tracy believes he caught a ghost on camera, and considering the house's history, it's hard to disagree. This isn't just any home, it's the oldest in America, over 400 years old, scarred by the 1586 attack of Sir Francis Drake, who burned St. Augustine to the ground. And in the adjoining room, history tells of 50 people brutally slaughtered during the Spanish Armada's invasion. Some say their spirits still linger, replaying their final moments again and again. And honestly, watching that shadow glide across the room, I can't help but feel like Tracy might have caught one of them. We all love seeing a rainbow after the rain, but have you ever heard of a rainbow that looks like it came straight from hell? Well, this guy recorded one, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Look at this. This is no camera tricks. It looks like a dark rainbow. Goes into one of those cloud trail things. That looks like it's just some sort of weird dark rainbow. That's the weirdest thing. Or maybe it's just aliens. I mean, look.
I've honestly never seen anything like this in my life. It's both beautiful and terrifying. A dark, shadowy arc stretching across the sky where a colorful rainbow should be. At first glance, it looks like a black rainbow, or maybe even the trail of some alien craft shooting up from the ground. No wonder the comments are filled with people demanding answers. Some call it a government experiment. Others think it's something not of this world. But after digging a little deeper, I found there's actually a scientific explanation behind this eerie sight. It's known as a contrail shadow, a phenomenon that occurs when a jet's contrail The thin, white streak of vapor left behind by an aircraft casts a shadow onto a layer of clouds below it. When sunlight hits the contrail from just the right angle, its shadow becomes visible across the clouds, creating this surreal illusion. It's wild because the shadow often tricks our eyes, making it seem like the clouds are higher than the contrail, when in reality, they're below it. Even though it's a known atmospheric effect, it still looks like something out of another world. Moments like this remind us just how little we truly understand about nature, and how often it leaves us completely awestruck. This guy always thought the woods behind his house were empty, until his trail camera proved him terrifyingly wrong. Living alone on his family's decaying farmland, this guy relied on simple traps and cheap cameras to catch raccoons and rabbits. But one humid August night, the footage showed something else. Something standing upright, deathly pale, completely motionless, staring straight into the lens. According to his account, he went out to check the woods after hearing strange noises near one of his cameras. That's when he saw it, a pale figure holding a rusted axe, watching him from between the trees. Before he could react, it lunged. He managed to escape, sprinting back to his house and locking himself inside. Later, when he reviewed the footage, the same figure appeared again. This time, its face inches from the camera, its empty eyes fixed on the lens. Since that night, he claims to hear slow, heavy breathing outside his window whenever the woods fall silent. Now, I'll be honest, the story sounds like one of those creepy campfire tales meant to give you goosebumps. But that photo, there's something undeniably unsettling about it. The way those eyes seem to pierce through the darkness, it almost feels like it's still watching. Maybe it's fake, or maybe, just maybe, there's a bit of truth lurking out there in the trees. This next video was uploaded on X by a user named RyPony, who asked for help after noticing something strange happening with his camera, all because of a mysterious metal container. But things quickly took a disturbing turn once viewers realized what it might actually be. In the video, you can see him opening the lid of a thick metal container, and the moment he does, his camera starts glitching violently, as if it's being hit by something invisible. The screen flickers, distorts, and reacts in ways that feel anything but normal. According to many online commenters, the man might have been in serious danger. Some speculated that the container could be holding radioactive material, since radiation is known to interfere with digital sensors and cause camera distortion like this. One concerned user even advised him to lay out his clothes and take a decontamination shower, warning specifically not to use conditioner, since it can make radioactive particles stick to hair and skin. However, others offered a less alarming explanation. They suggested it could simply be a low-light issue, the camera's sensor struggling to adjust between the bright lid and the dark interior of the container, forcing it to crank up the video gain and causing the strange glitch effect. Whatever the real cause, one thing's certain: the moment that lid opened, the camera reacted in a way it clearly shouldn't have. Maybe it was a trick of light, or maybe that container held something that was never meant to be opened. Most of us find lost coins, bugs, or random rocks in our backyard, but for this guy from Panama, he discovered something that looks straight out of another world. A user named Kin Panama uploaded a series of strange videos claiming he found a mysterious rock in his backyard, one that, over time, seemed to come alive. In one of his latest clips, he shows what looks like a writhing black mass sitting in a bowl on his kitchen counter. It moves, pulses, and looks disturbingly alive. Apparently, he's even keeping this thing as a pet, but whatever it is, it doesn't resemble anything we've ever seen before. From what you can call its head to its body, everything about it feels otherworldly and honestly a little terrifying. I dug a bit deeper into Kin Panama's channel and it gets even weirder. He's been posting updates about this creature's growth from the moment it supposedly fell as a meteorite to its current alien-like pulsating form.
A nuestro visitante interplanetario es que algún día se desprenda de la roca, pero por ahora no. Lo voy a quitar aquí porque ve que se está moviendo como cada vez más y yo me parece que hasta puede estar creciendo ahorita mismo. Vamos a pensar que esto nació de un meteorito.
Of course, once the videos went viral, the skeptics came rolling in. Reddit users and amateur scientists suggested it's probably just a clever DIY hoax. Maybe a silver-painted potato combined with a silicone-based polymer reacting to hexane to create that breathing illusion. Pretty creative, if true. But here's the thing, no one's actually proven it yet. So for now, this so-called alien sits perfectly in that eerie gray zone between hoax and possibility. Maybe it's a brilliant special effects experiment, or maybe, just maybe, it's something we're not ready to understand yet. This next video comes straight out of California, where an apartment owner captured something in the sky so bizarre that even experts online are terrified to explain it.
What the?
According to the X-Page Black Hole, which uploaded the footage, the video shows a homeowner recording a strange phenomenon above their building. It looks like hundreds of tiny flash explosions erupting in the sky at once, forming a thick, chaotic cloud of smoke. The description even claims there was a sudden drop in temperature right after it happened, making the whole scene feel even more unsettling. At first glance, it honestly looks like the sky itself is blowing up. But after digging through the comments, a much less terrifying explanation came up. It's most likely an old video of a fireworks display gone horribly wrong. Many commenters pointed out that this clip has been floating around for years, but in the age of AI and fake videos, fewer people believe those explanations anymore. Still, if it really was fireworks, whoever planned it definitely failed at their one job, because instead of a beautiful display, it looked like the start of an alien invasion. Back in 2012, a Reddit user, then a fresh high school graduate, joined their parents and sibling for a peaceful camping trip deep in the California woods. Along the way, they casually snapped photos on an old Sony Cybershot, capturing weathered barns and quiet open fields. Nothing strange stood out at the time, but later, while transferring the pictures at home, one image made their heart stop. In that frame, there was a strange, shadowy humanoid figure near the barn fence. The user swore they hadn't seen anything there in person. The original file was eventually lost, and what remains today is just a repost from their old Facebook page, leaving the mystery forever frozen in pixels. It's definitely unsettling, but as expected, Reddit detectives jumped into action. Among the theories, one stood out from user Adam Kopich, who initially believed it might be something paranormal, but after zooming in, he pointed out a far more grounded explanation. It's likely two wooden posts, one holding a sign and the other possibly a birdhouse, lined up in such a way that they accidentally create the illusion of a tall, human-shaped figure. Still, even if it is just a couple of posts, those shapes together look way too human for comfort. I'm just saying, if I saw that thing standing near a barn in the middle of the woods, I'm not sticking around to double check. For more interesting footage, check this out. From Tennessee being flooded by Bigfoot sightings, to houses haunted by creepy legends, here's the most disturbing cryptids caught on camera. On June 1st, 2025, someone posted on Reddit with the caption, "Need some help," and what they shared sparked talk of a legendary creature, Bigfoot. The user named Repulsive Lime 4958 had uploaded multiple pictures of footprints he found while wandering around in a wooded area in Middle Tennessee. According to him, he was looking for a cave, but instead of the cave, he found these footprints, and many people saw it as very concrete evidence. I'm no footprint expert, so I have no idea if these are regular animal tracks, but they do look humanoid to me. They look like a smallish human footprint, like a kid's footprint, but the toes are digging into the mud like you do trying to grip the ground while walking. And well, remember this video.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This was made in 2022, and it is the same spot the footprints were taken from. So does that mean that there is now additional evidence of Bigfoot roaming around Tennessee? The answer is yes. This state has had dozens of reported sightings, especially in the eastern and central wooded areas. According to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, Tennessee has over 100 recorded reports, with some going back decades. And then there's the Bigfoot Festival in East Tennessee, where people gather every year to share stories, gear up, and yes, even go on Bigfoot hikes. So yeah, that Reddit post might have been new, but what it adds to is a pattern that's been going strong in this area for years. Mount Shasta is a place with a long history of spiritual significance and a strong connection to legends and folklore. And this, of course, means Bigfoots. People go there every year searching for beasts that few ever find, until one person did. On May 26, 2025, a man uploaded a picture on X claiming that his tour guide showed it to him. The image showed a man walking towards the camera and another one taking a picture with the flash on, not knowing that he actually captured way more than he meant to. Two glowing eyes and a humanoid figure were staring right into his soul. The context of these pictures is unknown and a complete mystery, and so is Mount Shasta as a whole. Hundreds of articles, images, and news reports can be found on the internet talking about the area, but the mystery doesn't stop there, of course. According to legends, the mountain is said to be home to an ancient lost civilization called Lemuria, and people claim that deep within the lava tubes and caves, something still lives there. Some believe it's the Lemurians, others say it's aliens, but a lot of locals, they think it's Bigfoot. And just when you think it can't get any more weird, there are the clouds. These aren't your everyday sky clouds. These are lenticular clouds, but they've become known as UFO clouds because of how they look and how often they appear right above the peak. Locals say whenever those clouds show up, something always follows. Lights in the sky, weird humming sounds, people going missing for hours with no memory. Mount Shasta doesn't just attract campers and hikers, it attracts the unexplainable. And if that photo is real, if those glowing eyes staring back really do belong to something, then we're not just looking at a tourist photo gone wrong, we're looking at proper evidence. In 2016, a video was uploaded on YouTube by a user named Hardpack101. According to him, he was flying his drone around Idaho when he came across something running in the field. As he made his drone go closer, he realized it wasn't just something usual. This is what his drone had recorded. The creature, which appeared for a brief moment, was already running towards the trees to escape the drone, probably, and after that was never seen again. Now, it wasn't a human, that was for sure. Because of the height and speed, nothing seems human. So then what was it? The video had many believe it and many did not. But one thing everyone had to agree on was that this wasn't the first or the last time something of this sort had been sighted in Idaho. Because fast forward a couple more years to 2021 and we have another brand new sighting. The video had everyone convinced until one issue came up. While it looks good, you can't ignore the fact that we aren't being shown the whole video. Until we are shown the actual footage, you can't help but have doubts. And remember the time the government camera ended up recording and releasing footage of alleged Bigfoot? It's like every day, every year, every month, there is new evidence coming out about Bigfoot from Idaho. Also, there's no way we are going to skip the video recorded in 2013 by two hunters who went into the Idaho wilderness, and instead of their usual prey, they saw a predator. And after that, they ran behind the creature to see who it was and couldn't find anyone. But that's just the thing about Idaho. Disappearances like this, they're not rare. Because Idaho isn't just known for Bigfoot, it's ranked among the top states in the US for paranormal activity. UFO sightings, strange creatures, weird lights in the woods. This place has it all. And it's not just blurry videos and rumors either. There are actual news reports, government footage, and eyewitness encounters. In McCall, Idaho, 2 Bigfoots were allegedly spotted wandering through a tree line. Tall, dark, and barely visible. The figures were enormous. I didn't have a reference to judge their size, but at 70 yards, they were huge. Just 2 hulking figures standing solemnly in the woods. And then there's this story. In 2012, a woman in Idaho claimed she crashed her car after swerving to avoid a creature that walked out onto the road. Not a deer, not a bear. A Sasquatch. She even told authorities she saw it in her headlights. Tall, hairy, and walking upright. Police didn't find Bigfoot, but they did find the crash. The woman stood by her story, and maybe she wasn't the only one. Because when you look at how often Bigfoot has been spotted in Idaho, it's not just a one-time myth, it's a pattern. In the following video, a woman named Britt was outside her house, trying her best to remain calm after she had witnessed something that left her immensely terrified.
So, I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard.
Now it might appear like she was simply filming the graveyard across from her home, but when you put this in context with what comes next, it becomes way more unsettling.
Staring at that, and then she started barking. And she growled. And when she growled, I kind of like woke it. I don't really know.
For some reason, the woman, Britt's dog, Josie, had been staring at this empty closet space for an unusual amount of time. There was clearly nothing inside, but the dog won't budge. It was locked in, and then suddenly it began to bark and growl at nothing. That was when Britt decided to flee the room and started recording. What's strange is that the dog also did this exact same thing in one particular spot outside, the same spot near the graveyard across the road.
Josie, what's going on?
It was as though the dog was reacting to something we couldn't see, something tied to the land itself. But Britt started connecting dots that went even deeper, because there was a certain detail about the graveyard she mentioned that made this all even more unnerving.
Before they passed away, they buried all of their cats right here where you see the little crosses, and it was their wish to be buried right here, just where they were.
She revealed that not only Josie, but even the cows in the area walk right up to this exact patch of land and just stare at it, frozen and fixated. It was like something drew them there.
Why? They just kind of come.
And then came the night everything changed. While getting a food delivery, Britt walked inside to disable the home alarm, which randomly went off, and that's when this happened. Something tugged at her sleeve. No one was around, but you could see her shirt yank sharply before she panicked and ran out. She even dropped the food, all terrified. She later said it felt like a hand grabbing her. After this, she didn't stay in the house. She grabbed her stuff and slept in the RV outside, waiting for her family to return, because whatever was going on, it was getting worse. But here's where this story takes a darker turn. Because Britt lives right outside Uhari National Forest, one of the most paranormally active regions in North Carolina. A place so haunted, locals refer to it as Purgatory Mountain. This forest isn't just known for its eerie silence and strange lights. It's the same area where people claim they've seen Bigfoot, shadow figures, and unexplained creatures moving between the trees. In fact, some locals believe there's something ancient in Uhari, something that doesn't like being seen. This video was recorded from the area and captures exactly the kind of thing people warn you about. Those sounds, they weren't from any animal people recognized. And just like Britt's dog, even seasoned hikers have had their animals refuse to move forward on the trails.
What do you see, Coda?
According to Our State magazine, Uhari has had dozens of Bigfoot sightings, but the forest is tied to more than just cryptids. It's home to legends, spirits of people who vanished in the woods, and creatures said to live between dimensions. And Britt might have unknowingly built her home on the edge of that. So when her dog stared into empty spaces, or her shirt got pulled by unseen hands, it might not have just been a ghost. It could have been something much older, something from Uhari, something that followed her home. It started in Colombia, an orb floating silently in the sky. No wings, no engine, no explanation. At first glance, it might seem like a stray balloon swaying in the wind, but the way this object moves, or more accurately, barely moves, suggests something else entirely. And then, the sightings began popping up everywhere. These metallic orbs started appearing around the world. This wasn't just a Colombian mystery. Back in 2012, a very similar orb was spotted over Russia. Almost identical size, same hovering motion, same silence, and it didn't stop there. In 2016, a metallic orb floated over Tokyo. In 2017, another one showed up over Poland. And just this year, a pilot flying over Manchester captured something shockingly similar to the Booga orb. Same look, same eerie stillness. So either these countries all bought the same weird balloon, or we're dealing with something way bigger. And while they're often seen hovering or floating silently, not all of these orbs stay in the air. According to posts that have since been deleted, one of these spheres actually crashed in Colombia. Radiologists examined the UFO sphere that crashed in Booga, but couldn't compare it to anything human-made. And this brings us to one of the most mysterious artifacts in UFO history, the Betz sphere. Back in 1974, a family in Florida found a shiny metal ball that would roll uphill, vibrate on its own, and emit strange noises. Scientists were shocked. To this day, no one really knows what the Betz sphere was, or if it was ever from this world to begin with. Now here's where it gets even more weird. In Colombia, Booga isn't far from zones known for high strangeness, UFOs, spirits, even legends of cursed jungle artifacts. The region has long been tied to Colombian folklore about La Bola Brillante, or the Shining Sphere, a myth about glowing orbs that float through forests, watching from the trees, only appearing before moments of disaster. Some say they're spirits, some say they're ancient technology, some say they're not from Earth. Deep in Louisiana swamps, a mysterious creature haunts locals and has been doing it for decades, and some believe the following footage actually proves it's real. Uploaded in 2018, the footage claims to have captured the Honey Island swamp monster. Take a look. Shot by a retired air traffic controller named Harlan Ford, this footage is said to show the legendary Honey Island swamp monster, a massive ape-like figure walking. It's brief, unclear, and honestly kind of eerie. But it's what people claim about the creature that makes it even more unsettling. According to local legend, the Honey Island swamp monster is over 7 feet tall, covered in dark gray hair, and reeks of death and decay. It's said to leave behind strange, webbed footprints, half man, half alligator, and vanish without a trace into the thick fog of the bayou. And while skeptics say Harlan's film was just a knockoff of the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot tape, believers argue it's the first real glimpse of what's become a southern cryptid icon. And this isn't just a one-off local myth. The Honey Island swamp monster has appeared in books, documentaries, and even cryptid conventions, right alongside Bigfoot, the skunk ape, and the Fook monster of Arkansas. It's part of a broader American folklore tradition that links strange, forest-dwelling beasts across states and generations. But what sets this legend apart is the setting. The Louisiana swamp is already spooky on its own, isolated, humid, fog-drenched. Add in a 7-foot-tall monster with glowing eyes and webbed feet, and you've got something straight out of a southern horror story. And here's the thing, no one's ever disproved the footage. It remains one of the most debated monster clips ever shot. Real or not, it's helped cement the Honey Island swamp monster as one of the most unsettling cryptids in North American history.
Most grandparents pass down cherished heirlooms to their grandchildren. Antique watches, old clothes, or maybe a collection of baseball cards. But what this great-grandson inherited can only be described as utterly terrifying.
Then I'm gonna get this one, which is a banshee.
This video, recorded by a homeowner, captures the moment he opens a box belonging to his great-grandfather, only to find something straight out of a nightmare. As he carefully opens it, the contents inside are far from ordinary. The first thing he pulls out is an ancient, mummified leprechaun's skull, an eerie relic that looks well worn and incredibly old. But the horror doesn't stop there. Next, he discovers a small box within the larger one, and when he opens it, he's greeted by a sight that seems ripped from a horror film. A banshee, draped in a suit made of human skin. The creature's grotesque appearance is chilling, as if it crawled straight out of a dark legend. According to the man filming, the box is over 100 years old, which only adds to the strangeness and terror of these discoveries.
Also, and it said it could be.
It's impossible not to wonder what kind of dark, mysterious practices his great-grandfather was involved in. Was it some form of ancient voodoo or something even more sinister? Before watching this next video, if you'd asked me to go on a night walk, I'd be all for it. But after seeing this, I'm not even stepping out of my room. That was horrifying. This video was recorded by a woman taking a night walk on a street in Mexico when she came face to face with what can only be described as a demon. The street is completely empty except for a terrifying figure standing dead center. This being looked like a woman bent backward on all fours, staring straight at the camera. And to make things worse, it was moving, which means this wasn't some statue or object. This thing was real. You can hear the woman recording the video crying. Clearly distressed, and honestly, I can't blame her. If I ever saw something like that on my street, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even be able to make a sound, let alone keep filming. If you're dealing with an ant problem, please call a pest control expert or get some proper ant killer. Just don't do what this guy did. This video comes from a house security camera and was uploaded on Reddit, showing someone trying to exterminate an ant colony in the most reckless way possible. The guy pours BQ gas into the ant nest and then attempts to light it. He fails the first time, then tries again, and fails again, all while his dogs watch from the sidelines. On his third attempt, the match finally ignites, but not quite as planned. The entire ground erupts with a massive explosion of mud and grass. Seriously, this was a major blunder. Pouring gas into a tiny hole and lighting it. What did he expect to happen? The explosion was like a bomb going off. It's clear this was a disaster waiting to happen. And honestly, his dogs probably had a better sense of what was coming than he did. Some people believe we're living in a matrix, and to back up that theory, they point to all sorts of glitches in reality, like the one captured in this video. That bird is seriously bugging out. This video comes from the Philippines, where a man recorded something really bizarre in the sky. In the footage, there's a bird hovering in midair, but it's not flapping its wings or moving at all. It's just stuck there. The bird seems to be stranded, frozen in place. One possibility could be a frame rate mismatch between the bird's wing flapping and the camera's recording rate, though that's pretty unlikely. What's more unsettling is that a mother and her child passing by can be seen looking at the bird in shock, as if this strange phenomenon was visible to the naked eye. I'm leaning towards the idea that it might be some kind of kite, like those odd animal-shaped kites. But then again, how would a kite like this even manage to stay in the air? It's all pretty confusing and definitely makes you wonder. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster has always been a hot topic, with plenty of debate and very little solid proof. Most of the evidence we have is pretty shaky at best, but this video, it's definitely stirring up the river monster debate. This footage comes from the Hawkesbury River in Australia and was uploaded by the Daily Mail, showing what looks like a lake monster caught on camera. In the video, you can see something emerging from the surface of the water. It looks like a creature with a head up front and a long, elongated body trailing behind. The creature surfaces for a bit, almost as if it's peeking out of the water just to say hello, and then the video ends. Now, people online are divided. Some say it's just a piece of driftwood, which is possible. But the way this thing's body reflects sunlight and the shape of its head makes it really hard to dismiss as just a piece of wood. What do you think? Could this be a river monster, or is it just another optical illusion? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. It seems like aliens have a thing for farms and messing with farmers' livestock, because they always seem to be abducting something, just like in this video captured on a farm. A farmer recorded a video of his neighbor's farm after noticing something strange in the sky. In the footage, we see an unknown flying object hovering above the farm with a beam of light shooting down from it. The spaceship has that classic dish shape, but the beam is what really stands out. It's flickering like lightning and making some weird, unsettling noises. Watching this unfold on a quiet farm is downright eerie. The whole scene is creepy, especially when you think about not knowing what that spaceship, or whatever it is up to. Now, imagine you're a farmer and you wake up one morning to find your livestock missing. Then, your neighbor shows you this video. I'm pretty sure sleep would be the last thing on your mind after that. UFO sightings have sparked curiosity, fear, and debate for decades. But what if one of those sightings was more than just a trick of the light? In this video, we explore an alleged encounter that has taken the world by storm. In the Brazilian city of Curitiba, residents spotted something extraordinary, a flying saucer hovering in the sky. They captured it on video, and the footage quickly spread across social networks, leaving people baffled. The video genuinely looks authentic. Even zooming in, you can clearly see that it resembles a flying saucer with no obvious signs of foul play. And if it's real, this is truly mind-blowing. A flying saucer hovering so high in the air with no visible propulsion or exhaust system. How fascinating is that? Some reputable experts in Brazil have come forward, claiming the video is authentic, while the Brazilian Air Force even held a press conference, admitting they have no explanation for what was seen. Could this be the proof we've all been waiting for? Or is there another explanation lurking in the shadows? Ever wondered what it's like to have a poltergeist in your house?
If there's anything in this...
Whoa. So here we have a man. He sets the remote down on the ground. Seems innocent enough, right? He starts to ask, is there anything in this?
If there's anything in this...
But before he can even finish the question, bam! The remote suddenly flips over and flies across, as if someone kicked it. No warning, no reason. Just pure, unexplainable force. Now, you might think it's a trick, some clever illusion with strings or magnets. But no, our guy is quick to grab the camera and give us a close-up. The remote is lying there, taunting us, with absolutely no strings attached. He's clearly shaken. He says this has happened before, but not like this. He says it. Not sure what it is, but it has apparently moved things before, just never like this.
The things that it's shifted it before, but it's never just thrown it like that.
This was something else entirely. A spirit with a bit more muscle, or perhaps much angrier? Whatever's going on here, one thing's for sure, you won't be looking at your remote the same way again. Ever feel like someone or something is trying to send you a message? This nurse is quietly filming, not saying a word. Apparently, the printer just started printing some pages out of nowhere. Well, that's not the creepy part. This happened right after she was talking about patients who recently passed in the psych ward. Creepy, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Pay attention to the hidden messages and decide if this is a message from the afterlife. On the first page, it says get, simple yet eerie. The second page, help. Now it's getting unsettling. The third page, connection, keep alive. What does that even mean? Okay, there might be a very simple and logical explanation for why the printer did this. I don't know, but there could be. Maybe some of our tech-savvy viewers can shed some light on it. But the timing of it. Is there a logical explanation for that? It's definitely as if someone or something is desperately trying to reach out from beyond, seeking help, or perhaps closure. Whatever it is, it sure knows how to get under your skin. Ever caught something on video that you just can't explain? A group of people is celebrating, and the camera's focus is on this woman waving happily. It's all smiles and joy until you slow things down. That's when things get eerie. Behind the woman, you can spot a boy who looks around 6 or 8 years old. He's wearing a red shirt and black trousers. But here's the thing, he doesn't seem to be part of the celebration at all. No one acknowledges him. It's as if he's not even there. The truly spooky part, the boy starts to climb the stairs behind the woman, and then, just like that, he vanishes. One moment he's there, and the next he's gone, disappearing as he moves behind the woman, never reappearing on the stairs. What was that? Did this party just capture a ghost child? This quite literally sends chills down your spine. Who or what was that boy? Was it a family member who has passed away? Or is there a chilling, sad story of a boy dying in that house long ago? Whatever it is, it just shows how little we know about life, death, and what lies beyond. In the vastness of our skies, sometimes we witness phenomena that defy explanation, like this next clip. Captured from a distance in a city, the video reveals a strange red glow hovering in the sky. But it doesn't stop there. Out of nowhere, a blue beam appears, intersecting right at that glowing point. What's puzzling is the origin of the beam. Does it shoot up from the ground toward the red glow, or is it descending from the glow itself? As if it's teasing us, the beam flickers on and off several times, almost as if a portal is trying to open, just like in a Marvel movie when Thor makes his dramatic entrance. Could this really be some kind of interstellar gateway connecting distant points in the universe? Or is there a more down-to-earth? Taking it back to 2020, this video showcases a truly strange phenomenon unfolding in the skies, leaving many to wonder if it had godly origins. Hailing from Florida, the footage was captured by a driver who noticed a strange, luminous object emerging from behind the clouds. It moved across the sky as if someone were wielding a giant flashlight, casting an ethereal glow. The sight persisted for over a minute before the video abruptly ended. It's a scene reminiscent of something out of a fantasy game, as if the heavens were sending us a rare quest or message. While some may interpret it as a sign from a higher power, a more grounded explanation could be at play. It's possible that sunlight filtering through unusual cloud formations is causing this luminous display, though we lack concrete proof. If you've encountered this strange phenomenon or have insights to share, feel free to drop a comment below and join the discussion. Some people out there believe in the existence of aliens, claiming they might be lurking beneath the sea disguised as aquatic beings. I've always been skeptical, but videos like this one really make me question my doubts. In this footage from Kiowa Island, South Carolina, we witness a bizarre moment captured by a group of fishermen on their fishing expedition. As one of them records, another showcases a truly bizarre fish they've just reeled in. This fish is unlike anything they've encountered before, sporting a peculiar mouth like opening below its original head. Its body length and features are also far from the norm, but it's that unusual mouth that gives it an otherworldly appearance. With its gooey texture and an oddly shaped tail, it wouldn't be out of place in a sci-fi movie featuring extraterrestrial creatures. While it's possible that this fish is the product of some genetic mutation, mutations can sometimes yield eerie and unsettling results like this one. Now, the real question remains: will the fishermen decide to sell this mysterious catch at the market? Or will they make it disappear, never to be seen again? A trail camera set up to study the deer population in the Canadian woods captured a strange sight that has left researchers with more questions than answers. In the footage, recorded at night, the trail camera captures the tranquil beauty of the forest. However, suddenly there is a movement in the distant darkness, accompanied by a sudden burst of bright light. The deer grazing in the vicinity become startled by the passing of this mysterious entity and become more alert. Upon closer inspection of the footage, it becomes apparent that something out of the ordinary is afoot. Zooming in reveals the presence of a ghostly figure, seemingly carrying a light source, possibly a lantern, as it moves through the woods. Though the sighting is fleeting, it leaves an indelible impression on both the camera and the deer. Also, unlike some videos that could be attributed to computer-generated imagery, the genuine reaction of the deer adds credibility to the sighting. Incidents like these make me hesitant to venture into the forest for pending adventures, as the unknown can be both fascinating and unsettling. Our planet is drowning in pollution, and the consequences are becoming increasingly terrifying. One shocking example of this is the bizarre creature captured in this video.
That is not no fish.
Shared by a Reddit user, the footage shows a truly mind-boggling animal. It's a grotesque hybrid with the head of a mouse, the body of a frog, and an unbelievable scaly tail resembling something out of a dragon's lair. It's a creature straight out of a nightmare, and it's living in our polluted waters. I did some digging and found a possible explanation. The midshipman fish. This deep-sea creature looks somewhat similar when viewed upside down, with bioluminescent patterns that match the strange lights on our mystery animal. But there's another possibility. This could be a horrifying result of genetic mutation caused by our polluted environment. Either way, this creature is a chilling reminder of the damage we're inflicting on our planet. We must act now to clean up our water and protect the life within it, before more of these nightmarish abominations emerge. Have you ever heard the spine-chilling urban legend of Shane and Villamain at the South San Antonio railway crossing? If not, prepare to be rattled.
Yeah, her truck is in neutral. Her truck is in neutral. Her truck is in neutral. What the fuck? Okay, let's look at the fingerprints.
This video, recently uploaded to TikTok, shows a daring attempt to uncover the truth behind this infamous urban legend. The story goes that a school bus, filled with innocent children, was once trapped on these tracks. A speeding train couldn't stop in time, resulting in a tragic loss of life. Locals swear that cars parked at this exact spot mysteriously shift into neutral, as if an unseen force is trying to prevent another disaster. Some even claim to find strange hand-shaped marks on their vehicles, like ghostly hands pushing them to safety. Watch as this brave family puts the legend to the test. They cover their car in flour to capture any evidence, and then park it right before the ominous tracks. Just like the stories say, their car inexplicably rolls forward, and there, plain as day, are tiny handprints on the car's back. I'm still shaking. This is more than just a creepy story. It's a haunting reminder that sometimes the truth is far more terrifying than fiction. It's almost as if the spirits of those lost children are still watching over this place, protecting others from a similar fate. The ocean has a way of surprising us with creatures that look like they belong in another world. Just look at this astonishing catch. A fish that seems more alien than earthly. This photo captures a fisherman holding what could easily be mistaken for a monster from a deep-sea horror story. Its sheer size and menacing appearance are a testament to the mysteries still hidden in our oceans. It's moments like these that remind us just how much of the deep sea remains unexplored, filled with life forms that defy our expectations and challenge our understanding of the natural world. There's something both awe-inspiring and heartwarming about witnessing the beginning of a new life journey. These tiny creatures, no bigger than the palm of your hand, are embarking on a perilous journey. The odds are stacked against them, with only a small percentage likely to survive to adulthood, but each one is driven by an ancient instinct, pulling them toward the waves that have called to their ancestors for millions of years. Watching this incredible scene unfold, you can't help but root for each little one as it scrambles across the sand, eager to begin its life in the ocean. It's a reminder of the resilience of nature and the enduring cycle of life that continues despite all odds. Most bugs, you know, the ones we usually see, they really struggle when they end up on their backs. It's like watching a tiny gymnast trying to do a backflip without any training. But this little dude in this video, forget about it, he's built different. Isn't that wild? This guy was chilling in someone's backyard when they caught him on camera. I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? This bug is like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's got this shiny body that looks almost metallic, and it's just plain weird. But here's the best part. When the person filming flipped it over, this bug didn't just lay there like a helpless little creature. Nope. It did this crazy flip thing with its back. It's like it has a built-in jack or something. It froze for a second, then bam. It was back on its feet. I had to do some digging to figure out what it was. Turns out it's called a click beetle. These little guys have this special part on their body that they use to flip themselves over when they're upside down. It's like nature's tiny superhero. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. Walking on the beach is like a dream. The soft sand between your toes, the sound of the waves, pure bliss. But after seeing this video, you might think twice about that next barefoot stroll. This footage captures a group of fishermen doing their thing on the beach, but their catch is nothing short of bizarre. This one fisherman has this weird spiky balls on his spear. It's like something from another planet. This thing is round and bright red, covered in these crazy spines that seem to move on their own. It looks like a living, breathing porcupine of the sea. So, what exactly is this creepy crawly? It's called a sea urchin. Most of them aren't this bright red, but there are some seriously colorful ones out there. And here's the terrifying thing. These guys are venomous. A gentle touch probably won't hurt, but if you accidentally step on one, you're in for a world of pain. Their spines can inject venom, and while it won't kill you, it's definitely going to sting like crazy. So next time you're enjoying a day at the beach, keep an eye on where you're stepping. You never know when you might encounter one of these spiky surprises. With all these security cameras around, it seems like ghosts and spirits are having a harder time sneaking around unnoticed. They're probably having to plan their nighttime adventures more carefully these days. This footage is from a security camera outside some kind of building, and it caught this dark, shadowy figure just floating around. It looks almost transparent, and then it transforms into a wispy cloud of white smoke before disappearing completely. At first glance, it kind of looks like a four-legged animal, like a dog or a cat, but then it changes shape and it's hard to say what it is. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely a ghost, but it's definitely strange. It could be a weird camera glitch or something, but the way it moves and changes is really peculiar. So what do you think, ghost or glitch? Some people believe we live in a simulation, and there are supposed glitches all around to prove it. This home security camera footage might just be one of those. This video from 2014 shows a house at night captured on a security camera. As the video plays, something strange happens. A small bush suddenly appears out of nowhere in the middle left of the screen. It wasn't there at the start of the video, but it pops up at some point of. Things get even weirder after a few seconds. The bush starts to change shape, morphing into a strange moving form that's impossible to identify. It blurs and even seems to take on a humanoid shape for a brief moment before completely vanishing. This is seriously creepy. Could this be a real-life glitch in the Matrix? Who knows? The idea of hell is terrifying in almost every culture. Scorching heat, endless fire. It's the stuff of nightmares. Well, this guy might have just found a gateway to it.
Dude, oh my god. Be careful. Yep.
This is straight out of a nightmare. This video was captured by a coal mine worker who witnessed something truly bizarre. In the footage, we see a cliff with a gaping hole in it. The area around the opening is covered in black, burnt rocks, hinting at intense fire within. As the cameraman turns the camera towards the cave, we see an eerie orange glow emanating from inside. The horror unfolds as he throws a stick into the cave, only to watch it completely burn to ashes in seconds, suspended in mid-air. This underground coal mine has transformed into a terrifying inferno. It's truly frightening, and after seeing this, I'm determined to be a better person to avoid a place like hell. Imagine driving down the road, and your windshield suddenly cracks. Scary, right? You'd probably pull over and call for repairs. But what if you were thousands of feet in the air when that happened? This pilot captured some terrifying footage during a flight. A small crack appears in the windshield, and it quickly gets worse. You can see sparks flying as the crack spreads, and before you know it, the entire windshield is covered in cracks. It's a nightmare scenario. The video ends there, but if the windshield completely shattered, it would be a disaster. Loose items would fly out of the cockpit, But if pilots are strapped in, they won't. Still, it would be terrifying. So what caused this? I did some research and found out it was likely a short circuit in the window heating element. The extreme temperature difference between the heated glass and the freezing outside air caused the glass to crack. This video has definitely made me a lot more nervous about flying. Ever wanted to take an epic picture with your friends, only to have it ruined by a photobomber? That's annoying. But it's nothing compared to what happened in this video. Did you see that? This video was uploaded by a mom, showing her kids' friend group capturing a truly terrifying moment. The group is posing for a picture when something transparent and quick zips past in the background. The kid in the black shirt has someone behind him who definitely isn't one of his friends. The group didn't notice it at the time, but it's clear in the video that something was there. Slowing down the footage, we can barely make out a humanoid shape. You can see its legs as it runs. What on earth was it? Babies are the most innocent creatures in the world, but it seems like the paranormal loves to mess with them. Just look at this nanny cam footage of a 2-year-old. This video was uploaded to Reddit by a concerned father who was freaked out by what his baby's nanny cam recorded last night. In the video, the baby is sleeping face down in their crib. Everything seems normal, but then suddenly, the baby's legs start to rise up in the air on their own. It happens multiple times, like someone is pulling them up while the baby's face stays planted on the crib. I know you're probably thinking it's just a normal baby learning to control their body, but the way those legs are yanked up is unnatural. It's terrifying knowing the baby is alone in there, and the idea of a paranormal being messing with them is pure nightmare fuel. I don't know if it's surely paranormal, or if this baby has some weird superpower. But one thing's for sure, it's strange. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. The age-old debate about aliens has divided people for generations. Some are convinced extraterrestrial life exists, while others dismiss the idea as pure fantasy. But this video from a cattle ranch in Central America is making everyone question what they believe.
Coño, ahí, déjalo ahí que está parado. No huevo, nada, mire esa mierda. Coño, pero mire, justo en el momento en que nos vinimos, mire.
The footage shows a seemingly ordinary ranch until a bizarre object appears in the sky. A thick white line stretches across the heavens, unlike any cloud or plane I've ever seen. After a few tense seconds, the mysterious line vanishes without a trace. What on earth was that? I mean, it's impossible to explain. It defies logic. Some people are already jumping to alien conclusions, linking this to those classic cattle abduction stories. Could this be a spaceship scouting its next target? Honestly, I don't know, but it's certainly given me goosebumps. When it comes to tornadoes, nothing can match the ferocity of Kansas City. It truly feels like tornadoes call Kansas home, just like the one captured in this video. This footage was recorded by a driver fleeing a monstrous tornado in the Kansas area. The sky is filled with ominous clouds, and the weather is extreme before the camera person turns the camera behind them. There, we see a massive tornado, its ferocity truly awe-inspiring. The area surrounding the tornado is shrouded in darkness due to the intense wind and debris. The tornado's size is simply staggering. According to species statistics, Kansas holds the unfortunate distinction of ranking first in the nation for the total number of 5 tornadoes since 1950. These are monstrous storms with rotational velocities, reaching an incredible 320 miles per hour. The tornado in this video is likely one of these terrifying behemoths. Natural disasters like these are truly frightening, because humans have little to no control over them. When they strike, we can only hope to survive. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. People say the witching hour between 2 and 3 in the morning is when the truly terrifying creatures emerge. Well, this home security camera footage might just prove it. This chilling video comes from a home security camera that captured a truly bizarre and frightening creature lurking near the house. The camera is focused on the fence when something unnatural appears in the tall grass. This thing looks almost human, but its skin is entirely white, and it has this creepy way of peering into the camera. It seems to know it's being watched, constantly checking to see if the camera is on it. The homeowner was understandably terrified after seeing this. Honestly, if I saw that thing lurking around my house, I'd be packing my bags for the suburbs the next day. Take this video from Florida, where the sky looks like it has its own river. Recorded by a local Floridian, this video shows a strange phenomenon happening in the sky. There's a weirdly shaped cloud moving through the sky, looking like it's made of smoke. It's long and moving in a straight line, almost like snow. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I know our brains love to see faces in clouds, but this one was truly bizarre. I did some digging and found out it's called an iridescent cloud. These are caused by tiny water droplets or ice crystals scattering light. They're also incredibly rare, so capturing one on video like this is pretty special. Imagine planning a beach trip at night, only to wake up to the sea coming to you instead.
20 de junio, 8:10 de la mañana. Así la Ciénega de González.
That's absolutely terrifying. I found this TikTok video of a devastating flood captured by a homeowner. It's chilling. Outside the house, everything is completely submerged. The water is raging like a mini ocean, with waves crashing through. Trees are practically underwater, showing just how high the floodwaters are. There's nothing the homeowner can do to protect their house from this furious onslaught. It's a stark reminder of nature's power and how quickly things can change. You never know when you might find yourself in a similar situation, feeling like a fish out of water. This must be incredibly difficult for the homeowner, and I imagine rescue efforts would be extremely challenging in these conditions. Nanny cams are lifesavers. They let us keep an eye on our little ones when we can't be there. But sometimes they capture stuff that's downright bizarre and terrifying.
But check this out. Tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. So, okay. Nothing, right? Like, what the f? Definitely something in there.
You saw that, right? This video is from a guy babysitting his nephew while his aunt was out of town. What he saw on the nanny cam freaked him the hell out. In the video, he says he's not sure if he's losing his mind, but he saw something on the camera in his nephew's room. He goes into the room, checks everywhere, the bathroom, under the bed, behind the table, but finds nothing. Back in the living room, he checks the nanny cam again, and there it is, a shadow standing in front of the camera, behind a plushie. The shadow doesn't move at all, and it's only visible on the camera, which is super creepy. It looks like a small humanoid shape. I'm leaning towards this being a glitch in the nanny cam, like it couldn't handle shadows properly and created that weird image. But if that's not it, then what the hell was it? The deep waters of our world hold secrets we've yet to uncover. And I'm pretty sure they're not as calming, just like this thing found in an Indian lake. Did you see that? This video was captured by some villagers who spotted something strange in their local lake. In the footage, we see the water's surface when suddenly, bubbles start forming. Then, out of nowhere, a massive, terrifying head emerges, with what looks like a hand holding its nose. The head also has long black hair, which, combined with all its other features, looks like some kind of monstrous human head straight out of hell. The local villagers are calling this Pandoba, a ghost that lives in their waters, and I can't blame them. It definitely has that vibe. But the skeptic in me can't help but wonder if it's just someone in a large suit. If that's the case, it's all fake. But being underwater in a suit like that, that's no easy feat. Whoever pulled this off, they did an amazing and seriously risky job. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. When it comes to clouds, they don't have a definite shape. Sometimes they resemble a horse. Other times you might spot Abraham Lincoln's face. But this video shows a much more terrifying side of them. This footage was captured by a mother driving on an Illinois highway when she noticed something strange happening in the night sky. In the video, you can see her recording through her car window as a thunderstorm lights up the darkness. Amid the storm, a terrifying shape emerges, a massive, creepy saucer hovering in the clouds. The saucer is enormous, with multiple layers that look like the stacked levels of a spaceship, revealed only when the lightning flashes. Now, I know it could just be a weird cloud formation, but the roundness of its shape is almost too perfect, and the shadows it casts make it look eerily real. It's one of those moments that makes you question what you're really seeing. What do you think about this sighting? Let me know in the comments below. Ever seen something that makes you do a double take? Take a look at this creature. It's not quite what you'd expect. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary crocodile or alligator, but then you notice something strange. That tail. It's almost as if this reptile has a fish-like tail, something you'd expect to see on a mermaid rather than a croc. Nature always has a way of surprising us with its oddities. And this is a perfect example. It raises so many questions. How did this happen? Is it a genetic mutation, or is there something else at play here? Whatever the explanation, one thing's for sure. This little guy is one unique specimen. It's not every day you come across a creature that blurs the lines between species like this. Sometimes, bravery comes in the most unexpected forms, like this woman who found herself in a tense situation by the riverbank. Most people would panic, but not this woman. Instead, she grabs her slippers, of all things, and with remarkable calm, she waves them at the crocodile. And believe it or not, it works. The massive reptile, probably surprised by this unexpected defense, turns away and swims off, leaving the woman and her pup unharmed. Who would have thought that slippers could be a match for a crocodile? But it just goes to show that sometimes all you need is a little courage and the right footwear. As funny as this might be, don't try this yourself. Crocodiles are ferocious beings, and humans and dogs are no match for them. If you see one coming your way, scoot in the opposite direction. Some things in nature are so rare that they leave you speechless, like this little chick with not just 2, but 4 legs. This unusual sight is the result of a rare genetic mutation, giving this chick an extra set of limbs. While it might look cute and fascinating, it also raises questions about how this tiny bird will adapt to life with twice as many legs as its fellow chicks. 4-legged chickens are an anomaly, a reminder of nature's unpredictability. Despite its unusual appearance, this chick is just like any other, deserving of a chance to grow and explore the world, albeit with a few extra steps along the way. We usually picture mermaids as enchanting, half-human, half-fish creatures, but this video from a ship worker will completely change your mind.
What are those? Oh my god!
This ship worker captured some seriously disturbing footage. While at sea, he spotted strange disturbances in the water, like something was just below the water surface and was chasing the ship. The video shows 2 mysterious creatures swimming alongside the vessel at incredible speed. But that's not all. Listen to those eerie, distant screams.
I hear him. Where's he at? What the f is that noise, bro? What is that noise?
It sounds like a woman in distress. Those screams echo through the night, matching the terrifying sight of those creatures following the ship. People in the comments are convinced these are sirens, mythical creatures known for luring sailors to their deaths with enchanting song. But honestly, those sounds were pure horror. If I ever heard something like that in the middle of the ocean, I'd be sailing away as fast as possible. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Just like our oceans, our land, especially the jungles, holds uncharted territories that could be home to all sorts of mysterious creatures. This terrifying video might just prove it. What in the world is making that noise? This footage comes from a group of hikers who stumbled upon a truly terrifying situation. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they heard a bone-chilling sound, a mix of a deep growl and a blood-curdling scream. It sounded like something straight out of a nightmare. The hikers decided they'd had enough adventure for one day and turned back. So, what was that creature? I did some digging and found out that animals like mountain lions and elk can make similar sounds. I'm putting my money on elk, as there are plenty of videos online showing them making noises just like this one. Even if it was just an elk, it was enough to scare off even the bravest hikers. Amusement park rides are a blast until you're dangling upside down, hundreds of feet above the ground.
Yeah. Give me my phone right now.
This video comes from Oaks, amusement park, where a day of fun turned into a terrifying ordeal. A ride at the park in Portland came to a screeching halt, leaving 28 people suspended upside down, 100 feet in the air. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was a terrifying and life-threatening situation. Park staff called for help, but before emergency responders arrived, they managed to get the ride back on the ground and safely evacuate everyone. Can you imagine being stuck upside down like that? Your brain would probably short-circuit. After seeing this, I'd think twice about ever going on a ride like that again. No thanks. I'm good with my feet firmly planted on the ground. With gas prices skyrocketing and transport costs through the roof. You'd think people would be dreaming up some creative ways to get around. Well, this guy in the Philippines took free transport to a whole new terrifying level.
Oy, may inaano na tao! Wala, may inaano na tao! May inaano na tao, guys!
This video, filmed in the Philippines, captures a terrifying moment as villagers record a man being swept away by a flash flood. The footage shows the raging floodwater rushing down the street, and then we see a man in a helmet and raincoat seemingly riding the torrent. At first glance, it looks like he's enjoying a free, adrenaline-pumping adventure. But the reality is far more terrifying. The poor guy is being carried away by the powerful current. If he gets pulled into the river, he's as good as gone. So his best bet is to hold on to something for dear life and hope for the best. It might be tough on his shoulders. As technology keeps advancing, human-made structures are becoming more and more mind-blowing, just like the St. Louis Arch. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie. It's the real St. Louis Arch in Missouri. Look at this incredible structure towering over everything like a majestic relic. The arch is made of stainless steel and stands an impressive 630 feet tall, or 192 meters, shaped like a perfect catenary arch. It's the tallest arch and the tallest accessible building in the Western Hemisphere. This incredible piece of architecture was designed by a super smart guy named Eero. He wanted to show how awesome it was for people to move west across America. And boy, did he succeed. The arch is like a giant symbol of adventure and exploration. It's so cool, it almost feels like aliens could come out of it. If you're a hiker, you know those scenic views can be absolutely breathtaking. They pull you in like a magnet, but sometimes they pull you in a little too deep, like needing Swiss Air Rescue to save you. This video was captured by a Swiss Air Rescue thermal imaging camera while searching for a missing hiker in the mountains. Watch as the camera scans the mountainside until it finally picks up the hiker lying on the slope. It's incredible how clearly the camera distinguishes the hiker from the ground. It's a lifesaver. The hiker even waves when he sees the camera. Man, I'm so glad they found him. Those Swiss mountains are no joke, wild animals and all. And can you believe he ended up on that random downslope? How on earth did he even get there? This next video comes from a military base where a strange, unidentified flying object was captured on night vision goggles. In the video, recorded by thermal vision goggles, we can see unusual lights moving among the stars. From this distance, they look like stars. But their straight line arrangement is quite alien-like. There are multiple lights, giving the appearance of an alien spaceship. However, this isn't what it seems. These are actually Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. Launched in 2019, these satellites have been orbiting our planet ever since. Appearing as a string of bright lights, Starlink satellites can look quite otherworldly, leading to numerous unknown flying object sightings when they first appeared. But these long lines of lights are only visible shortly after launch. So, I think the person who uploaded the video might not know about Starlink satellites, making the footage seem mysterious. Ever heard of a sundog? I'm not talking about a new breed of dog. I'm talking about this.
We got the sun, the rainbow around the sun, the 3-point reflection on each side, one on the bottom, and then from each side there's a spear of light, and if you look closely you can see a second rainbow up above there's an inverse rainbow.
Isn't it incredible? This video was captured by a skier in Canada who noticed something strange about the sun. In the footage, the cameraman shows the sun surrounded by a weird, bright shape. There's a rainbow around it, and then there are reflections on 3 sides. It looks like some kind of magical portal from the Havens. This mesmerizing phenomenon is called a sundog. Sundogs are colorful spots of light created when sunlight refracts through ice crystals in the atmosphere. They appear about 22 degrees to the left or right of the sun, depending on where the ice crystals are located. Sundogs are pretty rare because they only form under specific conditions and in certain regions. So the skier who captured this was incredibly lucky. You're enjoying a romantic dinner with your partner. Everything's perfect, right? Well, this next video is going to change your mind about what could potentially interrupt your meal.
What is it?
This video was recorded by a husband on a dinner date with his wife. And let's just say, it took an unexpected turn. In the video, we see a massive wild pig waltz into the restaurant, followed by its adorable little piglet. The mama pig walks up to the couple and stands on her hind legs, trying to reach the table for some food. She accidentally knocks over a wine glass, which scares her off, and the whole family makes a hasty retreat. Now, that's one way to spice up your dinner experience. I mean, who would have thought you'd get a free wildlife show with your meal? The restaurant might want to consider adding wild boar encounters to their menu. But seriously, this is wild. I wonder how often this happens. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. When it comes to water, you never know how deep it is or what might be lurking beneath the surface. Watch yourself. The ocean is scary. This video comes from a group of friends on a fishing trip, but what they found there was pure horror. The water initially seems clear, perfect for fishing, until the cameraman submerges it and reveals hundreds of stingrays hidden in the sand below. These creatures are casually resting, like they're taking a nap. Imagine going for a swim in that. It's a nightmare scenario. However, contrary to their fearsome reputation, stingrays are actually shy and gentle creatures that prefer to swim away rather than attack. They only use their stingers to defend against predators like sharks and large fish. They typically attack humans only when they feel threatened, often when stepped on accidentally. Given the number of stingrays in this video, avoiding them would be quite a challenge. I can't stand face masks or dolls. They creep me out. Something about them is really eerie. But a World War ventriloquist doll, that's a whole new level of terrifying. Did you see that? This video was captured by a night security camera in a museum. It shows a World War ventriloquist doll in a glass case. Suddenly, the doll blinks like a real person, and the case opens by itself. Then it blinks again, and moves its lips twice. It's like something's trapped inside trying to communicate. The video ends there, but it's enough to give me nightmares. I mean, it's a doll from World War. What else would you expect? This has definitely intensified my fear of dolls.
From the chilling sightings of the elusive black legend, to what appears to be a full-blown Bigfoot attack caught on camera, and even the shocking reappearance of a creature long believed extinct, these are some of the most unsettling moments ever recorded. Stick around, because you won't want to miss a single one. Our woods may seem calm and peaceful,
But this video reminds us that something far more unsettling might be lurking just beyond the tree line. Reports of these shadowy beings have surfaced across the entire state, especially in the dense, fog-draped woodlands of eastern Kentucky. So much so that an organization known as the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization was formed, dedicated to investigating sightings, documenting encounters, and even working toward the creature's protection. But in 2013, they released something that sent shockwaves through the Bigfoot enthusiast community. Originally uploaded to their site, this eerie footage gained major traction when it was re-uploaded to a third-party YouTube channel on December 31st, 2013. It's essentially a slideshow, a collection of still images deep in the Kentucky woods. At around 8 a.m., the camera captured something odd, but you'll only notice it if you zoom in and slow down the footage. There, just for a few seconds, you can see what looks like a head peeking from behind the brush before disappearing out of frame. If you look closely, you'll even notice branches moving as the creature appears and then retreats. By zooming in and adjusting the brightness and contrast, you can clearly make out a black-furred head peeking out, matching the classic Bigfoot description. Commenters have gone wild over this. Some are calling it proof of Bigfoot's existence, while skeptics argue that it's just an owl, pointing to its small size and what appear to be large eye sockets. But I might have believed that, if it was the only sighting. Back in December 2010, 3 years earlier, another trail camera in Kentucky captured something just as eerie. This time, it was a humanoid figure, completely covered in fur, walking with a distinct Bigfoot-like posture, including that classic hunched back. Personally, I think there's more to these stories than just folklore. When you hear first-hand accounts from hunters, campers, and even law enforcement, people who aren't seeking fame or attention, it really makes you stop and wonder, could Kentucky really be hiding an undiscovered species in its dense wilderness? In a place as wild and mysterious as Kentucky, Bigfoot just might be more than legend. This hunter was navigating his way through the Canadian wilderness when something happened that shocked the entire hunting community. A Canadian hunter named Frank was on a solo hunting trip near the Nordegg, Alberta woods when he heard strange sounds echoing from deep within the forest. Curious, Frank hopped on his quad bike and sped toward the source. But what happened next turned into every hunter's worst nightmare. As he reached the area and called out to his friend Don, who was supposed to be heading there, it wasn't his friend who responded. Instead, an eerie silence followed until something else answered back. Startled, Frank got back on his quad bike, but froze when he noticed a figure standing motionless in the darkness at a distance.
Dawn.
Assuming it was Dawn, he called out again, but the figure didn't respond. Panic began to set in. He tried to start his bike, but it wouldn't start. Meanwhile, the strange sounds continued echoing from the woods. Terrified, Frank decided to proceed on foot, but it seemed like something, or someone, was still following him. While running, he stumbled across the horrifying remains of a deer. Nearby, he found a bizarre shelter made of tree branches and leaves. It looked disturbingly deliberate, as if built by something intelligent. There was even fur scattered around it. Feeling increasingly threatened, Frank fired some warning shots into the darkness, where he thought he saw movement, but that turned out to be the biggest mistake of his life. Moments later, a black creature suddenly leapt out from the bushes, and the camera went haywire. In the chaos that followed, the hunter was dragged across the ground by whatever that thing was. If you think this could be fake, let me tell you that Alberta isn't new to reports of mysterious creatures in the woods. Just a year ago, an oil field worker near Nordegg captured dashcam footage that might have captured a similar strange creature. While inspecting equipment in the snow, a tall, dark figure was spotted standing completely still in the woods, barely visible, but unmistakably there.
Completely changes over the course of an hour. Because this unfold, it's been unfolding for months, it's going to continue to unfold for months.
There was also a chilling report from a construction worker. Early one morning in the Sunchild First Nation area, he was on his way to a job site when he noticed something unusual standing among the trees. It looked eerily similar to the figure from the earlier footage, lurking, almost as if it was stalking him. These genuinely gave me chills. I've watched a lot of creepy wilderness encounters, but there's something different about these clips from the Canadian woods. Maybe it's how real they seem, or how similar all these sightings are. I'm not saying this proves anything, but if I were planning a solo trip into those woods, I'd think twice. Something's out there, and it definitely doesn't want to be seen. This next video comes from an excavation site where the workers discovered something so strange, it might just make us question everything we know about history. These clips were uploaded on Instagram by multiple channels, and they quickly went pretty viral. What they found left people stunned. During an excavation at Jatayu Mountain near Meerut, workers uncovered a mysterious human-like skeleton. What shocked everyone was how fossilized and well-preserved it looked, and the fact that we've never heard of anything like this in our recorded history. Now, archaeologists are investigating, while social media is buzzing with wild theories, some even connecting the find to the Ramayana era. Many believe it could be linked to the legendary bird king Jatayu, a demigod in the Hindu epic Ramayana, said to have the form of a giant vulture who tried to save Sita from Ravana. But then, there are also people like me who think it's more likely just a man-made sculpture that was buried a long time ago and recently unearthed. What do you think? A glimpse into our dangerous forgotten history, or something far more disturbing? Before trail cameras, we thought we knew our forests. But in these photos, these silent watchers have revealed something far stranger. Just a few days ago, on the cryptozoology subreddit, a user shared something that immediately got the community buzzing. He had come across a set of bizarre images captured by Jacob's trail camera, and what it recorded on September 16th, 2007, in the dead of night, is nothing short of unsettling. The camera snapped photos of a strange, small, hunched creature slinking through the woods. It's covered in black fur and shaped vaguely like a bear, but not quite. There's something off about its proportions. Something wrong. Now, some commenters quickly jumped in with a rational explanation that it's a bear with mange. Mange is a severe skin disease caused by parasitic mites, leading to intense hair loss, scaly skin, and often making an animal look downright nightmarish. It's a condition that can affect many wild animals, including black bears, and it's as tragic as it is visually disturbing. When you place a side-by-side comparison of a mangy bear next to the creature caught on Jacob's trail cam, the resemblance is definitely there. I'll admit, there's a strong case to be made. Most people don't realize just how alien a sick bear can look when it's stripped of its fur and muscle mass. A severely malnourished or diseased bear barely looks like a bear at all. That said, even as someone who believes in Bigfoot, this never really looked like a squatch to me. Bigfoot is usually described as having a large humanoid build, broad shoulders, upright posture, long limbs. This thing, it almost looks more like an ape, crawling low to the ground. If you love taking peaceful night walks, this next clip might just make you think twice before stepping out after dark. This eerie footage comes from a home security camera, and while the exact location remains unknown, what it captures is the stuff of nightmares, enough to rattle even the bravest souls. The camera is pointed toward a quiet backyard gate. Everything still, until suddenly, something appears just outside. Right after a chilling, echoing howl, a wolf-like creature emerges from the darkness. At first glance, it seems like a large wolf, until you take a closer look at its face and realize something is very wrong. Its face is grotesquely unnatural, like a demon wearing a wolf's skin. Its glowing eyes pierce through the night, and its gaping, snarling mouth looks like it came straight from the depths of some nightmare realm. The creature prowls just outside, sniffing around, its gaze fixed directly on the house, as if it knows there's prey inside. But just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. The creature suddenly reaches out with a massive, almost human-like hand and grabs the gate, shaking it violently, as if trying to force its way in. It's a moment straight out of a horror movie, except it's not fiction. It's real, and while skeptics might want to brush it off as CGI or some kind of AI-generated trick, there's something off about that theory. The creature's movement, the lighting, the texture of its fur, and the way it blends into the real environment. There's no visible distortion or mismatched lighting you'd expect from fakery. Whether it's a creature of legend, an unknown species, or something far more sinister, one thing's for sure. After seeing this, your backyard may never feel safe again. A trail camera was set up deep in the woods to monitor deer populations, but what it captured instead has left everyone on edge. This footage, dated July 12, 2013, comes from a trail camera originally installed for wildlife research, specifically to study deer activity in the area. But what it recorded that evening around 6 p.m. was something no one expected. Just a few seconds in, the camera captures what appears to be a strange fur-covered head moving close to the lens. Whatever this creature is, it seems unusually curious, staring at the camera, almost as if it knows it's being watched. It lingers for nearly a full minute, inspecting the device, then disappears just as suddenly as it arrived. Because of the round shape of the head and its fur texture, some viewers believe this could be Bigfoot, perhaps even observing the trail camera to figure out how it works. A curious Sasquatch, maybe? But I'll admit, I'm a bit skeptical about this one, and here's why. The fur looks off. Instead of naturally tapering at the ends like you'd expect with real animal hair, it appears blunt and synthetic, almost like a costume. And the way the creature just barely avoids revealing anything more, like it's intentionally dodging the lens, feels just a little too convenient. That said, this footage was uploaded by the Eastern Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization, a group dedicated to investigating local sightings. They shared it with the community for discussion and debate. So, what do you think? Was this a genuine close call with Kentucky's most mysterious resident, or just a cleverly staged moment? A group of conservationists were flying a drone over the Amazon jungle when they saw something that nearly stopped their hearts. The footage quickly went viral after it was uploaded, and for good reason. It was captured during a routine drone survey over the Amazon rainforest, where a team of conservationists was monitoring forest health and wildlife patterns. But as the drone flew low over a densely wooded patch, it caught something deeply unsettling. At first, it just looks like a thick underbrush, but when zoomed in, you spot something that sends chills down your spine. There, partially hidden by the trees, is a strange figure unlike anything seen before. It even appears to react to the drone, shifting its position and looking up, as if aware it's being watched. This eerie encounter has sparked a wave of speculation online. Some believe it may be an undiscovered creature, while others are convinced it's something more: aliens. Renowned ufologist Jaime Maussan shared the video, claiming the figure is non-human and bears similarities to other sightings across South America. His take is that this could be evidence of extraterrestrial presence in the jungle. We've only explored about 5% of our oceans, leaving the rest cloaked in mystery. But this video might just give us a glimpse into the unknown. The footage comes from a YouTube channel named Bugasongnon Takun, captured by beachgoers in Bugasong, Antique, Philippines. What started as a regular day at the beach turned into something no one expected as a strange sea creature washed up on shore. At first glance, it looked like a normal dolphin, but as the camera moves closer, things get much weirder. The creature's body resembled a whale, but its face was unlike anything most people have ever seen. Its massive, gaping mouth was surrounded by rows of tiny, sharp teeth, and its eyes looked alien and unsettling, like something straight out of a deep-sea horror film. Locals who found it, along with curious onlookers who gathered at the shore, were left terrified and confused, completely unsure of what they were witnessing. If you're thinking, is this some kind of alien fish? Let me ease your fears. This is actually a megamouth shark, one of the rarest and most mysterious sharks on the planet. In fact, This sighting is one of fewer than 70 ever recorded in history. Megamouth sharks live in the deep sea, far beyond where sunlight reaches, which is why they're so rarely seen. They're slow-moving filter feeders, and their strange appearance only adds to the mythos surrounding deep ocean creatures. So next time you look out at the ocean, remember, there's a whole alien world down there we've barely even touched. Who knows what else might wash ashore? This hiker was just out exploring the New Zealand wilderness when he spotted something that made the internet lose its mind. The video, quietly uploaded online, reveals a view from the hiker's camera as he scans the thick forest, only to spot something massive moving in the underbrush. At first, it's hard to tell what it is, but then he sees it clearly, a towering creature standing eerily still in the shadows, watching him. You can clearly make out a large bird-like creature silently watching him from the bush, and the moment it realizes it's been spotted, it disappears into the thick undergrowth. The hiker, visibly shaken, later claimed he was absolutely sure of what he saw. A moa, a giant, flightless bird species that's been officially extinct since the 1500s. And here's the wild part. It's not the first time someone's reported such a sighting. Back in January 1993, Paddy Freeney, a well-known publican from Arthur's Pass, claimed to have seen a moa in the Craigieburn Range. He insisted the encounter was real and strongly denied it being a hoax.
I had no doubts what it was. As soon as I saw it, this was a huge bird. I mean, it stood about this high.
Honestly, I don't know whether this should excite me or terrify me. The idea of extinct creatures still roaming the earth is beyond fascinating. But the size, the silence, and the way it watched from the shadows, that part gives me serious chills. This guy was just out for a peaceful night walk until something in the dark made him freeze in his tracks. This eerie footage was recorded at night by a homeowner casually filming a lake on his walk. But as the camera pans through the darkness, it captures something bone-chilling. Two glowing eyes staring back at him. Not just glowing, but with an unnerving, almost malevolent glare. Even more unsettling is that the eyes were high off the ground, and their shape didn't look like any typical animal. In fact, they looked almost aliens. According to the uploader, what this man may have encountered is something known in local lore as the Frogman. The legend of the Loveland Frogman dates back to 1972, when two Ohio police officers reported seeing a strange, humanoid frog-like creature walking on two legs near the Little Miami River. The tale took on new life in 2016 when someone claimed to spot it again, this time while playing Pokemon Go. Since then, the story has even inspired a found footage horror film set in 1999 and 2019, keeping the legend alive. While one of the original officers later claimed the creature may have just been a tailless iguana, possibly an escaped pet, that doesn't explain everything, especially not these ominous glowing eyes captured in this footage. Because no matter what science or logic tries to say, those eyes belong to something. And honestly, I'm not sure I ever want to know what. This next video is the reason people in Western Massachusetts are losing their minds, and some are too afraid to even step outside.
What are these things? Here comes another one, I'm telling you.
This footage comes from an apartment owner in western Massachusetts who, on what seemed like just another normal day, witnessed something very strange in the sky. There was a large, glowing object flying overhead, moving at a steady pace, but then it did something truly bizarre.
No, there's another one over there. Right there. What are they?
The glowing object suddenly released multiple smaller glowing objects, like a mothership deploying its fleet. It looked straight out of Star Wars. Massive, silent, and eerily organized.
What are these things? Here comes another one, I'm telling you.
According to the video description, this so-called mothership appeared in the skies over western Massachusetts and is believed by some to have come from as far as the Andromeda Galaxy. Now, I don't know about all that, but if I ever saw something like this in real life, I'm packing my bags and moving to a remote island. No questions asked. If you work in remote areas, especially around the Uinta Basin, this next story video is just for you. This video is a story shared on the RMSO Bigfoot X account, where one of their followers submitted a personal encounter. The follower was a coal miner working near the Uinta Basin back in May of 2012. According to him, while passing through a trail, he saw something sitting behind a large rock right next to the path. He described the being as having a cone-shaped head with very broad shoulders, about 48 to 50 inches wide. The beige-colored hair was 6 to 8 inches long and thick, blowing in the wind. He even noted seeing pink skin beneath the fur. When he returned later to measure the rock, he estimated that the creature would have been around 6 feet tall while sitting, and nearly 10 feet tall standing. I know, it's just a story, but the detailed description and how closely it matches typical Bigfoot sightings makes this whole thing feel pretty strange and uncanny. I don't know what it is about remote workers and these creatures, but somehow, they're always the ones who see them. When it comes to proving Bigfoot's existence, no one comes close to Dallas Gilbert, and this photo might just be the proof we've all been waiting for. This image was uploaded on X, formerly Twitter, and quickly grabbed the attention of cryptid experts and enthusiasts alike. In the photo, Gilbert and his friend were out searching for Bigfoot when they accidentally captured a strange, dark figure standing deep in the trees. The creature looks tall, broad, and eerily matches the classic description of Bigfoot. As the image spread across social media, the debate exploded. Some commenters claimed it was just a trick of the light or a tree shadow, while others were convinced this could finally be the elusive legend himself. Unfortunately, Dallas Gilbert passed away on December 9th, 2016. Had he been alive today, we might have seen a full-blown investigation into this sighting, and maybe even more compelling evidence of Bigfoot's presence in our world. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.